So I wanted to make this video, and I didn't know where to start. So this may be a little bit on the longer side. I say that because all of my videos on the longer side. But I wanted to actually start off with this video, and we can actually go from here. So check it out. Yeah, the horse whisperer himself. So let's see why I want to bring this up, and I get into a point to stop it.
Suspended all of the members of the Twitchcon rating streamers panel for 30 days for hateful conduct. Well, at least it's not a perma.
Yeah, they should have been suspended longer, but let's go.
They gave me a perma. Ethan Klein showing SS in a Twitch symbol. I mean, this is like the primary strategy of Zionist whining, right? In basically all cases. Everything is anti-Semitism, especially when it hurts my feelings. Everyone who disagrees is a Nazi, etc., like openly disingenuous. Not surprising from.
So this framing that somebody like Vosh has is a problem. But let's continue. We get to the point where I'm just gonna just use this as an example.
From him, I guess. Also, show number 69. Nice. What was even on that panel that was so bad? I mean, I didn't see it. I genuinely don't know. The Lunatic Stop Anti-Semitism account is pressuring Twitch and Dan Clancy to ban Hassan too. Didn't Hassan get rated like Anti-Semite of the Month or something by Stop Anti-Semitism? This is literally like a Nazi account. Like, these people are psychos. They're
Again, this framing is a problem. But let's continue.
they are like fully in line with. Remember at the beginning, on October 7th, or like right after, when you had like vans outside college campuses with the names of students who were on pro-Palestinian like club lists on them, and like talking about blacklisting them from work forever. Like they are like a part of. I mean, essentially what it is cancel culture, right? Like, it is cancel culture, but real and very powerful. It's like the only time I can think of that it's real. They had a category.
The cancel culture is when it's real. Is this the only time it's real? Because remember, because you just stuck up for Palestine, they're gonna make sure you never get a job again. Why would use what I hear so much as the leftist threat? Because they respect workers and they think all work is noble and stuff like that. How about the people that are pro-Palestine be limited to just working in McDonald's because reasons? Because working in McDonald's is a punishment, as they say, as they try to complain that people in McDonald's should deserve better. But they would quickly turn that into a punishment. Well, let's go.
Category called Sabra, which is an Israeli hummus brand, but it's also a term that refers to Jews who are born in Israel. I don't know where the line is drawn. I don't know enough about like language to determine whether that would be like a dog whistle or whatever else.
Wait. These are the people that are just like seriously. And I'm somebody who's on the left too, that knows when there's dog whistles. But all of a sudden, for things that they feel is noble and right, oh, it's a dog whistle. Oh, it's not a dog whistle. Oh, no, they're just explaining something. I didn't watch it. I don't know. This is just an example, and I'm using this as just an example because I saw this and I was disgusted by just some of the things that I've seen that people that supposedly on the left are doing. And you know what? I'm not even gonna gate people. Oh, they're not really left. No, they claim to be leftists, and this is the garbage that they're dragging my movement through. All in defense of what they think is morally superior. So many of these people, so many of these people sit back and virtue signal. Oh, the Palestine, from the river to the sea, the Palestine will be free. When that phrase is stated, they mean wipe out a state. No, it doesn't. That's not dog whistling. Yes, it is. What's going on in Israel and Palestine is not a problem that you can just solve with saying, "Oh, yeah, it just needs to be better." Do you want a one-state solution or a two-state solution? People that say, "I want a one-state solution," is also requesting for a right to return, which, it should be a right to return for a two-state solution. And not only that, here's the thing. I don't know if y'all realize this, but, and I know I'm getting in trouble with people, it's not a genocide, it's a war. It's a very bloody and very cruel war. And the first casualties in war is innocence, the truth, and morality. There are no just wars. There are wars that are just set to how many people can you kill. The problem comes where this is a blood feud. And it didn't just start in any century, any part of this or the last century. It's a blood feud. And for people on the left to just say, well, they're getting what they deserve because, they came in and colonials, like, it hurts my head to think that there are so many stupid people or dishonest people that try to push a movement of, well, if Israel wasn't there, then it wouldn't be a problem. Like, we don't know that the Holocaust wasn't the beginning of anti-Semitism, but a very big exclamation point. If you don't know, like, do me a favor and look up the People's Crusade. Like, no, back during the Middle Age, look up the People's Crusade. This is a problem. This is a problem. Do you know? Here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing about it. The Jewish people that are in Israel isn't even really the start of the problem. I mean, like, if you want to, like, go go back to England, go back to Great Britain, of how they kind of wanted to get rid of Jewish people. And I hear that there are so many people that's on the left saying that they should go back to America or they should go back to Europe. And it's just like, dog, that story has been tried. And you're complaining that people that are Israeli or people that are in Israel are just colonizers. And you know what? Here's the thing. You're right. There are people that are just out of pocket. There are people that were in an oppressed group that end up being oppressed themselves. I wonder who also said something about, when you're in a press group, it doesn't give you the right to be racist. Oh yeah, that was me. This is ridiculous. This is unbelievable that people on the left are putting up with some of the stuff that they're putting up with for the racism that is explicitly being expressed. And then they're saying, well, if you're responding to it, then you're just crazy. Your brain is broken. What? What? Am I saying that Israel has the right to go kill civilians? No. No, definitely not. Am I saying that? And I'm also not saying this. There are people like, just like, well, it's a, it's an insurgents. They're liberators. They're freedom fighters. The Viet Cong were freedom fighters as well, but they had the decency. If they were going to hide among civilians, they had the decency to protect their civilians. They had whole buildings in Vietnam where they were protecting their civilians, not using them as shields. And yes, they used them as shields. Again, this isn't some both sides are just bad. Like, no, this is a blood feud. And just the hatred that Ethan has been getting lately. And even before when the leftovers ended, it's trash. And let's go to a tool that I have, a tool. Not a tool that I have, a tool, but they call them Death Tiny. But like, this is a point where this isn't just what Hasan is doing. This is a point where a lot of people on the left are actually doing. And it's just sad, man. It's sad. So people should be aware that Hasan operates in a very specific manner in order to disengage his political opposition. Denegate, his political opposition. You can retroactively and prospectively apply this formula. He would always fall in this guarantee. So let's look at this step. Never ever watch a reasonable amount of content from the person criticizing you. This allows Hasan, and we just seen it. We just saw it. There were people that are criticizing Hasan, but I even with Vash, I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it. And in the past, Vash has watched his criticism. In the past, there are some people that have watched their criticism, but they get to a point where I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it. Why would I watch it? It's not a problem. It's not true. I don't know. It gives them opportunity to feign ignorance. Or number two, misrepresent the opposing view to a ridiculous extent. EI, if someone criticizes you for liking pineapple on pizza, responding to the argument as though they said you hate all fruit. What, am I not supposed to allow to eat fruit? I mean, am I allowed to eat any fruit? Man, low. Once you misrepresented the point of view to the most observed form, and you see it. Oh, no, you're just saying that you want all Palestinians to be heard or something like that. Destiny does these steps too. He does. I think that he's a little bit of a different case from most people on the online left, and yeah, he's on the online left. No matter how many people want to actually say it, he's on the online left. That he does some of these steps too. I mean, like, I'm not gonna, but he does actually watch the videos and listen to the criticism, especially since he's incredibly petty. But this is not a defense of Destiny. This is not something like that. This is not an attack on Destiny. This is attack what you see with a lot of online left fighters. Attack the straw man version of the opponent's argument. Lump the straw man argument in with other deplorable people. Pretend your opposition is making the same argument against you that a Nazi, conservative, racist, etc. will make. If you still need to convince your audience, make sure that so I do have a question. What's the difference between the views that, and then I will say this to actually be, sincere. What's the difference of him being a liberal and a leftist? How's he not progressive? What's not progressive about the things that he does? Because again, this is not a defense of Destiny. This is how he what's going on, because this is a different conversation than one I'm having now. That's like I'm trying to understand. And how is it different from what he's criticizing Hassan of? Because I've watched the videos. I've watched Hassan's response to Ethan turn into a Destiny response. I saw it. It's one of those things where it's just like, because I've set up this conversation of who Destiny is, and then then Ethan, because he's been listening to Hassan, it means he's automatically wrong. I've seen it. I saw him morph a conversation, a response from what is supposed to have been about Ethan to, oh, it's just Destiny because he hates me because of reasons. If you debate anyone about your positions, it's never ever the original person who holds the position. It's only the people you feel that you can outmaneuver in a conversation. Hassan's case, a 16-year-old Israeli, or a commentary YouTuber about Israel Palestine, Willie Mack, and finally, when the opposition becomes increasingly frustrated with your poor articulation of their argument, plus your takedowns of a strawman version of their argument, calling them crazy, obsessed, unhinged, racist, etc., and pretend that you don't really care about the topic. The point of this rhetorical strategy is that it shields Hassan's fan base from ever seeing the original criticism and allows him to respond to a strawman version of the argument that people believe is actually made. The fans will carry forward both the stupid strawman version of the argument and Hassan's response to it. So let's actually go to Ethan's original video. This is the original video that Ethan made.
Inclined from my basement. Beautiful Friday evening. My kids just went to sleep. And I opened Reddit to browse my community, who I love so well. And at the top of the subreddit is this very lovely clip entitled, "Just a Casual Panel Provided by Twitch at their con, broadcasted on their official channel."
This panel was a problem. It was a problem. It was a problem. Yeah, he did. And that's the issue. It is the issue that people complain about misinformation from the right, but they do it themselves. And Destiny's not excluded from it. He's not. He's not excluded from some of those points. But this isn't about Destiny. This is about the issue between Hassan and Ethan, and what Hassan allows his community and promotes his community to do. We literally, and I actually watched the video of the guy who read Hassan's comments and was worried that and here, I'm not gonna do it because I'm actually on Twitch. Here, let me see if I can actually find it. If people think that there is an exaggeration, that, you know, oh, I gotta watch that later. We'll do that later. If people think that there's an exaggeration of some of the like anti-Semitism that is going on with Twitch, I welcome you to watch this video. Now, maybe this cat is lying. Maybe this cat made up a lot of stuff. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe that's what's going on. But
his friends.
I encourage people to watch this video. And maybe he's lying. I don't know. Maybe he's lying about what he's doing. But I encourage people to watch this video. This is a video where this cat is reading back, and it looks like this. It's him reading back the what Hassan's video chat has been. I encourage this. I encourage this. But let's get back to the original video. Let's go. What's up, Miss Keeper?
What is it? Well, it's a panel hosted by Frogan and 4 of her friends, in which they have a tier list where they rate people where good is Arab and bottom is loves Sabra. Sabra is a very popular hummus brand. I know in Israel, it's pretty much in everybody's refrigerator, and it's kosher. They're an American company, but they've been the subject of the pro-Palestine boycott. I mean, it's kind of just Arab good, Jew bad. I mean, I'm having a hard time seeing this any other way, and what's crazy is...
Again, regardless of what your side in the conflict is, regardless, this is out of pocket. This is out of pocket. This is out of pocket. I wish I had that Frogan tweak, because it just shows her mindset when she does stuff like this. She organized this. You remember how she went viral for that clip talking about how she didn't like how her therapist was Jewish, and how, like, this is somebody that, one, is protected by Hassan, two, have openly put out anti-Semitic stuff. But let's continue.
Is that I've been suspecting that Twitch has an anti-Semitism problem. Obviously, it started with Hassan platforming Houthi terrorists and showing unfettered terrorist propaganda on his channel. But now they've
and the guy that was in that video, this cat right here, that was in that video, literally came on his own like stream. It was like, yeah, I kind of felt uncomfortable because Hassan just threw that on and got up and walked away. It's like, dog, you wouldn't accept somebody coming out and just putting Ku Klux Klan propaganda or neo-Nazi propaganda. You would actually get banned even if you were talking against it. And I'm sorry. I'm old enough to remember that, some of the people that were marching with us were Jewish people. Some of the people that were helping black people in the civil rights movement were Jewish people. Now, were there people who were quote unquote Jewish that, like, either by ethnicity or culture, that like did some messed up like deals in the record business? That wasn't because they were Jewish. That's because they were executives in the record business. But again, like, I know there's a lot of anti-Semitism in black communities. I know it. We know it. There's a lot of anti-Semitism in a lot of communities. But you're using some of the racist tactics, and some black people are okay with the racist tactics that were used against them. But it's okay because they're Jewish, or in Hassan's case, it's okay because they're the oppressors and they have all the powers. But let's continue.
propaganda on his channel. But now they've unbanned Sneeko.
Down with the Yahud! Down with the Yahud!
Well, that didn't last long.
And they've just unbanned Fresh and Fit this week. These are 2 of the most prolific Jew-hating creators on the entire internet. And these are the 2 they've targeted to bring back. Now, taking this all in account, here's an officially sanctioned event at Twitchcon. Let's take a look at it and see what exactly is Twitch endorsing here.
Okay.
It's the perfect transition to our first person, Hassan.
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder where they're gonna put Hassan. I'm gonna guess they're gonna put him in Arab.
Hassan is Turkish.
Now, mind you, the Turks were not friend to Jewish people. They literally, the history of, the Ottoman Empire that came from the history which it shared with the Roman Empire. They weren't even cool to like Arab people too. Like the Ottoman Empire, they were kind of tyrannical. That's one of the things that they did a lot of. But because, no, that's old right now. That's old. It shouldn't be that shouldn't be taken care of. Cool beans. I don't get it. It's like these people are not students of history. But let's go.
But he's a brother.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think he'd be on Arab coding.
I mean, I would put him in Arab, to be honest.
I would put him also in Arab.
Which is great. That's the good one. That's the one you want.
Austin, let's go down the line.
He's
Arab.
He's Arab.
Arab.
He's
Arab.
Lebanese. Like,
Yeah.
So you like, this is what some people just on the left are not telling you. They're basing who's good and bad just on race. The last time I checked, we on the left thought that was a bad thing. I don't know. For real. This is my issue with this. We on the left thought that was a bad thing to base if somebody is good or bad based on their race. Not their personal actions, not the views that they have, but just on their race. I wonder what we had a problem with that with.
Good job. Good job, Austin.
The next person is one of my favorite people, Ethan Klein.
I told you guys to clap.
This is a good reaction.
That was a good one.
Jewish.
Dude, where's the? You guys are missing a category for Zionist.
But wait, no, it's not about that. It's about the brand. It's about the Hamas brand. It's about, yeah, exactly. Like, quite literally, they just said it. Denims, and I've seen some of her content. I didn't think she was the brightest bulb in the toolkit, but she kind of was stupid enough to let this one go. Wow, you're really saying the quiet part out loud, trying to get away with it. For real. But let's go.
That was a joke. That was just a joke in my.
Stand up.
But wait. It's just a joke. A lot of these people will crucify a right winger about making it's just a joke afterwards. They know these tools. They fought against these tools. But they're using it like it's no reckless regard because reasons. This is one of those things where it's just like, come on, have some consistency, dog. It is so many times we've seen right wingers that says if it was something that you were like, you would do the same things, and you guys are proving it. This isn't progressivism. This is, well, you're just because you're on my side. But it's not just tankies and MLs. It's not just tankies and NLs. 5, 6, 7 years ago, Hassan would have been, oh yeah, no, I'm an atheist. Now he's kowtowing to religious people as well. Maybe it changes. The tone of the video changes.
Stand up.
We're very proud of you, Denims, for bringing anti-Semitism right on stage, and you guys are killing it. And may I point out here, Chevron, Capcom, and Samsung. Do you know that there is an Arab to Jew tier list happening in front of your sponsor? And you guys were so kind to sit right in front of them. Chevron, Samsung, and Capcom By the way, a bit of irony. I love that they're boycotting hummus and sitting in front of a Chevron logo. Like, yeah, I wonder which one's doing more damage.
Yeah. Literally. But these are the same people. These are the same people who drinks like the Pure Leaf tea, which is like a Pepsi brand that they said they're supposed to be like not boycotting because, you know, Pepsi. Or these are the same people that literally had a friend of the stream, a streamer, whatever, the girl who came up to Hassan and says, "Don't drink it on stream or put it in a cup." Like, literally did that. It's not about the principles with people. It's about what gets them click. Not once have these people pushed what's happening in Sudan right now, Myanmar. Hassan was actually for Russia. Then he says, Vladimir Putin is a bad guy, to a very bad guy. That goes to the tanky thing. It's always America bad. Now, have you heard from these guys where there's like, oh yeah, Biden or Harris, they're just giving Israel unlimited, when it's a report that came out? And shout out to the Young Turks when they actually made the report, even though they tried to downplay it, where there was like, Biden was like, yeah, no, we're going to try to slow this down. Because they had to acknowledge it, because they had reports coming out from it. Like, for real, we have allies. And yes, there are allies that are misbehaving and doing stuff that we don't want them to be doing. Case in point, what's happening in Israel. But we just can't give up allies. This, and I've said it before, countries are not Saturday morning cartoon villains. There is no, oh, this is super evil country, this is super bad country. We can't think like that as leftists. That's why people in the international scene that looks at American leftists look at them like they're freaking crazy. And I'm sorry, excuse me, I'm sorry if that makes you feel uneasy about things that you have to devote resources through taxes or devote resources through living in a country, but things are not simple and black and white. But because most of these people literally have like some of these people don't even want to contribute to society, and not even in a good way. God dang it. Like, even if you get up and actually say, well, I don't want to vote for this, but what are you doing for a third party? And I'm rambling right now. These people are taking the little straw man that the right is about, taking a straw man that the right is doing it and bringing them to life. And you're right. Some UK leftists are just as bad. This is not just to say like, well, this one's bad, this one's good. This is about examining the problems that we have in our community. But let's continue.
Okay. We know Twitch is like place favorites with everything. If they were really serious about anti-Semitism, Sneeko and Fresh and Fit would never have been brought back to the platform. It's just a no-brainer, right? But they were welcomed back with open arms. And I mean, their whole platform essentially for the past year has just been anti-Semitism. I'm not even kidding. That's literally all they talk about. I don't know what to say. You know, I've kind of been put in this position where like, I watch this clip and I'm like, what the fuck am I actually watching? This is mad. I need to say something. Chevron, Samsung, and Capcom, they deserve to know. You know, I know Capcom put in a Shmuley the Rabbi in the next Street Fighter game.
Look, we are not going to right now. We're not going to take on that mountain. I'm not excusing it, but we're not going to take on that mountain of racism that is happening in Japan. You can walk and chew gum at the same time, but that's walk and chew on concrete at the same time at this particular point. Right now, they're getting better. But that is a monumental task to try to take on the racism in Japan. I know. That is a lot. That's not, again, that's like walking and trying to jackhammer the concrete at the same time. So we're gonna, all right, we're not gonna let it slide. We're just gonna, when we have more resources freed up, then we're gonna actually go to that one.
Who attacks with dreidels and throws foreskin. So they are very
Not throw foreskin.
in touch with the Jewish identity. So we're gonna have to ask them.
And the thing is, like, Chevron. I like, Ethan is right for pointing out Chevron is supposedly doing less harm than, you know, a hummus brand, Chevron. Chevron. All right, let's go.
That's it. Enjoy the weekend. I know there's going to be lots of obfuscating and excuses for this video. And, you know, let's be real, guys. Let's just look at this optically. Imagine this flipped. Super Jew and colonizer on the bottom, right? And I go, Frogan, we know where she goes. She goes to the bottom. Like, let's be fucking real, okay? No one else would get that treatment. So don't even try to pretend or act like this is some innocent little mistake and that one of the guys there is Jewish. I just don't care. I'm glad you have a Jewish
I was about to say it. My Jewish friend said it's okay.
friend. That's very nice. But at the end of the day, let's get real, okay? Get your shit together.
I So that was one of the videos, and like, this was like Friday night. So Ethan, ever the like here's the thing too, and I will say this. I will actually say this. I know part of it is the anti-Semitism, but I'm gonna also be very, very, very honest with you. So people on the left has to have this issue, and it's sort of a big issue, sort of a small issue. They equate being mean or cruel to being right, being somebody on the right, being conservative, because that's where this is too. If you're mean or cruel, then you're conservative, because nobody on the left is actually mean or cruel. Nobody on the left is actually wrong. They're all good because they're on the left. And I've been saying it. I've been saying, like, it's one of those things where some of these people, they've never had to interact with people that they disagree with, so they can just cast them out as just evil. They also don't like confrontation because they don't feel they can stand up to confrontation. Also, they see, because they believe one thing, and this kind of gets into like upper echelon, like thinking like an adult type stuff. They see certain views. It has to be either black or white, left or right, and like things where like it's just like, oh no, this has to be this, so it has to be good. Not because they've actually thought about the stuff, but because they've been told to think that this is right. It's like the same, horrible ideology that they complained about, that the, religious people would have, castrating, gay or trans people, and they just don't think about it because the book told them, well, their favorite streamer told them, or a book that was written 100 years ago told them, and so it has to be just evil because that book said it was evil, this person said there was evil, following the same thought determined cliche that a lot of religious people that they would criticize would do. And Ethan, remember, Ethan was S tier, troll, and he was right wing, and that was some of the problems that they had before, because Ethan was right wing before because he made cruel videos, and yet some of that is that as well. Oh, how dare he try to come over to our side now? Some of it is that, just out the back, that and I've heard it, and oh, he's just listening to Destiny now, and Destiny is evil because he says the R word, so the R word is right wing, and like, huh? You sit up and call people pigs or hogs or stuff like that all the time, but that's not dehumanizing them because they deserve to be called that. Again, I welcome you guys to watch that video where the guy is going through Hassan's chat and see how understanding and, you know, humanistic, secular humanistic that Hassan's chat can actually be. But Ethan has more to say. Let's go to it, shall we?
See, Ethan Klein video is in order. Been talking a lot about my former co-host Hassan Piker and leveling some pretty serious criticism against him. I knew that he wasn't going to take it well and wasn't going to respond to any of the points made.
Destiny called it. But I'm not going to bring it up again.
And basically, it's turned out that I've been right about that. There's one clip, though, that I just saw on our subreddit that's especially kind of nefarious. This is the type of character assassination and propaganda that I think is really important to call out the minute it happens, to get ahead of it. This is also what would be especially good for fans of Hassan's, who's been listening to the podcast to help drive home some of the points that I've been making. So here it is. Let's just go ahead and jump right in.
I wonder what this clip would actually be.
Did you see this? I mean, yeah, I didn't.
But there's no. What's crazy is there's nobody on the entire platform to call him out. Nobody. They've all been banned.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. Destiny should be unbanned so we can call me out.
Why did he turn this to Destiny? Why is this every time somebody criticizes him, it's because Destiny told him to? What did Destiny do to this man? How did he hurt? Where did he hurt you? Why? Why didn't his criticism go to Vosh, who he also has a noticeable like hate boner for? But it's about Destiny. It's weird. It's like oh, you have to hate me because I can't be wrong. You have to hate me because Destiny. It is literally, this is the boogeyman. So you know what? Also because this hate is coming from Destiny, you don't have to listen to it. You don't have to pay attention to it because it's a lie coming from Destiny. No matter what it can actually be, it's a lie. It's a lie. Because, you know, Destiny, he was unkind to me once. Because he was unkind, he's actually worse than Hitler. By the way, I'm going to use racial slurs to both call him white and call him a traitor to the Hispanic race by calling him a slur for a Cuban. Like, seriously. It's not even just this whole... Hassan is cool with racism. I just want people to know that. He's cool with racism, and he's cool with making sure you know that he's okay with racism as long as it's against the right group of people. Now, personally, I don't like racism. I don't like racism at all because it's a tool that we on the left, if we complain about, we shouldn't use it. But Hassan is fine with it. He's fine with it. You know, let it be a black person that you know that's not gonna be, you know, not falling in line. He gonna get FD signified on you. So, Icon, you're right. Hassan talks about him the same 6 days. He does. They do. They both talk about each other. Literally, you have banned words in people's community. I don't get it. Why? He says Brunelli or Nevada Steve or Nebraska Steve. His name is also always on. His name is also always. Destiny's name is also always on Hassan's lips. They should just kiss and get it over with. Well, that may solve the Destiny and Vosh problem, but I don't know if it's gonna solve the Destiny and Hassan's issues. Stop stepping on my joke. All right, let's go.
Crazy take.
I said there's no dissenting voices, and he said Destiny should be unbanned is a crazy take. At what point did I say that? He's drilling into his audience brain already, trying to draw this association between Destiny, knowing that his fan base hates Destiny, as a way to poison the well against me. There has been I've mentioned Destiny on my channel over the last 10 years, maybe once.
I don't recognize Ethan any longer, I'll be honest.
You let your chat talk about him and his wife after he was being so empathetic to you. Ethan is a better person than me. I would have said screw you and called it a day. And every time you made little stupid comments and in inflections like you do, I would even call you my friend. He literally kept calling you a friend to the other day until you started lying about him, Hassan. That's what's going on. If you're not with me, then you're a gimme. Let's go.
It's like who would call me out? Like right-wing shitheads? Like, what do you mean?
Oh, now he's right wing. Oh, I can't be wrong. So if you're thinking that I'm wrong, this is weird. This is the opinion of somebody who's never been called out for their trash in their life when they were growing up. They were a spoiled brat. They were told that they were so special. And now that they're growing up and people that have opinions against them, they must just hate me because they hate me. And again, when people say to people like Hassan that Muslim extremists just hate us because they hate us, no, it's the material conditions. It's the material conditions. They have a reason to dislike you. But if it's somebody that dislikes him, they just haters. They're just haters. But let's continue.
Well, I'm not a right-wing shithead. I'm a liberal progressive who basically had some criticism for some of the stuff you've been doing, but mostly agrees with everything you believe in. Not everybody that disagrees with you is a right-wing shithead. And that's part of the issue that we're having here. This is, once again, he's trying to put me in the bucket with right-wing shitheads.
Not only that, but I do get fucking yelled at all the time. Who do you want? Like some fucking weirdo Nazi? Like, who?
Once again.
Dude, Loner Box came out with criticism against him, and he started to say that he almost called him a traitor to the Lebanese. Like, literally. He came out, was like, oh, because he went to Israel with Stephen Bernelli, he came out so radical, and it was like, what's he doing? Like Loner Box. It's like somebody who actually knows the history of the area, but Frogan is the expert. Didn't even know the name of a Lebanese town, but she's the expert. But let's go.
Implying that I want Nazis on the platform. Literally all I said is that there's no dissenting voices on Twitch, and he's building a fantasy world in which I'm a right-wing shithead that wants Nazis on the platform to criticize him.
There's only one guy I think he means, and that's Destiny, which is crazy.
It is honestly pretty severe the way that he draws everything back to Destiny. I don't know him. I've never talked about him on the channel. I don't know what's going on with this Destiny thing. The only explanation I can have is that he thinks that it's just an easy way for him to make me look bad to his community.
Nobody. There is not a single dissenting voice with his fucking straight up radical, anti-American, anti-Semitic fucking...
Bro, I can't believe this man went from dunking on Steven Crowder to saying Steven Crowder ass shit. He's anti-American, radical.
Hassan, you are anti-America. You said America got what it deserved in 9/11. And to be fair, there were some issues with what America did in the Middle East. But you said literally that almost 3,600 people deserve what they got because they live in America. I don't like, and this is who people now, mind you, I will say this, there are some people that quote unquote disagree with Hassan. But if they know that if people fully disagree and call him out for his garbage, they know they will lose half of their audience. I'm just small. I know. I not that I don't care, because I care about my audience, but I'm going to give an opinion where I'm not captured by my audience about this situation. And I've been openly clear. I think that this is not a genocide. I think it is a one-sided war. And I think that when it comes to the Israeli command and the Hamas command, they are both using citizens as grease for their war machines. That is a thing. And these people that are just focused on this conflict to get social clout, they don't care about starving kids. They don't care about people that's being killed. If they did, they care about the conflicts or the aggression that's happening in so many different areas where civilians and people are being killed. Things that are still in the headlines, but don't get them the same social capital to some whiny little teenage or early 20-year-old sitting in their mom's basement that's crying because I want to be cooler than my mom. Some college kid that is effectively trying to figure out their place in life and effectively figure out their political ideology instead of trying to bounce it against what their parents are because I'm cooler than my parents. I've seen this play out. Heck, I'm seeing it play out. I have a 17-year-old. I know how they think. They think, I want to seem cooler. I want to seem better. So I'm going to latch on to the most extreme point and say it should be done without putting in the work. Now, that's not exactly describing my 17-year-old, but I've seen how they are and I've seen how they act. Hassan, literally, what's funny is this. Hassan tried to make the claim that, oh, it's just these old men that's trying to stick their nose into your business. Like, literally, for real. Dog, you 33. Some people that have the criticism that are around you are the same age or around the same age as you. Let's go.
Anti-American.
Now, instead of actually addressing a single point, he stops it before he gets there. He conjures the image of Steven Crowder, who's got nothing to do with this conversation. And he says, how did you go from dunking on Steven Crowder to being Steven Crowder? Once again, this is a crazy amount of well poisoning, and it's so disingenuous and it's so bad faith. I hope it's clear to everybody just how bad faith this is right now and how desperately he's trying not to respond to any of the actual criticism that I've made. Criticizing Hassan does not make you Steven Crowder as much as he wants it to.
Like, what's next, dude? Should I leave the country? Should I go back to my own country, dude?
Once again, putting heinous words in my mouth, implying that I want him to leave the country because now that I disagreed with.
This is disgusting. This is literally disgusting that he's actually presenting this. He's presenting this to his chat. First off, you are somebody who says America bad. You hate the imperial core, but you take advantage of it. You hate, oh, America bad. We saw it literally when you were at the DNC. You were telling the people outside to fight back. But when it came to you losing your spot, what I'm going to fight back for? I got an interview that I need to handle. Do you know that they have guns? They have guns and they have the Secret Service. Why should I fight? But let's continue.
With him, I'm a heinous right-wing Nazi. Didn't say that. Don't want that. Don't believe it. But he's trying to build this image of me in his audience mind to turn them against me and to not listen to any of the legitimate criticism that I've leveled against him.
The fuck is this? This is the reason why I don't want to watch a single fucking clip of Ethan, because I feel like I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. Okay, not because I'm like escaping accountability. Like, come on, dude.
You are gonna lose your mind because you don't like to be criticized in this song. You don't like to be criticized. And it's telling. It's telling. You literally, the Willie Mack thing. The Willie Mack thing. I'm not gonna watch your video. How come you just tell me what it is? What is it? And he's telling them. He's actually telling them. And Hassan is just crashing out, losing it. Because somebody said something bad about him. But let's continue.
Come the fuck on. You think I haven't heard these fucking talking points a million times over?
If Hassan could at least just respond to the point, instead of saying, I'm Steven Crowder, I'm a right-wing Nazi, I want to kick him out of the country, just talk about what I'm saying. Can we try that?
Over. I know the fucking subreddit that you basically scraped these fucking bottom of the barrel talking points from. I know. I hear it all the time from his...
And see, this is also one of those things. And like I said, this isn't just a Hassan thing. This is this on... I literally watched, and this is kind of one of the things that kind of raised a little bit of red flag to me, with the Keffels thing. Do you know, like, Westside Tyler? I watched him, and I've actually talked about him on the channel. He was like, I don't think Mudahar should have just took the same talking points that he would have gotten from 4chan and just made it into a video. We don't need to watch it because it's bad. Like, and this is somebody who makes a point of saying, I'm going to go after these people who, you know, hide the truth. But it's just like, maybe I'm one of those people that, you know, was caught up in the whole show the video, talk about how, sorry about that, guys. Talk about how, you know, pull the video up. If you want to respond to a video, have that response to a video, and you know, present what they're saying, but have a, say something to contradict it, say things that, like, explain why it's wrong. Maybe I'm from that part of YouTube that just causes drama, or a bad part of YouTube where I don't mind just saying or explaining where the problem of what these people are saying. It kills me to see this stuff. You don't need to pay attention to it because reasons. Hold on. All right. You don't need to pay attention to it because reasons. The reasons is because I don't want you to pay attention to it. I'm not going to platform it. If you have people in your audience that's going to be swayed by something that somebody that you disagree with is saying, and you can't make a case against it, then you should stop trying to be a political advocate and just be a lifestyle channel. The thing is, they want to be political advocates, but they want to protect you from having to see the filthy, nasty stuff. It's akin to the whole people that I'm old enough to remember the Satanic Panic. How you shouldn't let this in your house. You shouldn't do. Okay, cool, great. What do you have to say against it? Oh, it's just that it's competition. And don't get me wrong, there are some things that should not be platformed. Gore or harming children should not be platformed. You don't need to see that to know that that's bad, because you know somebody was harmed with that. What a point that somebody is making, rhetoric that they're using. No, he just can't argue against it. He has to do this little clip that's taken out of context, which he complains about being taken out of context all the time. and say, well, Ethan is trying to turn right wing. But let's go.
Pathetic fucking fans that come in here and hit me with it every single fucking day. The real reason why I don't want to fucking watch these videos is because I don't want to like lean into the fucking mania that he is expressing every single damn day.
I genuinely have no idea what he's talking about.
Again, he has destiny on the brain. He has destiny on the brain. And the sad part about it, this is what's messed up. And again, I think that Destiny is somebody who's very, very petty. I think that he doesn't hold his positions just out of spite, but he can be very, very petty. But he does still push a Democratic left-leaning, almost center left or far left point to literally try to make this country a better place. While this Hassan thing is going on, this man is literally still fighting with Trumpists, still trying to say, hey, this is an insurrection that shouldn't have happened. All of this is going on. All of this is happening. He's politically advantageous. But, oh no, he's right wing because he made me mad once. He's right wing because he talks bad about me. And that's the insidious part about this. Because it's not about if somebody's right wing or left wing. It's about if you're not praying to the cult of Hassan. And he's the largest political streamer on the left for some reason. Yet he's complaining that his audience is shrinking while Destiny's audience is climbing. And that sucks. It sucks that we have to have either a cultist or a petty, spiteful person being some of the top figures on the left online. It sucks. I mean, like, the horse whisperer has been knocked down a few bricks, but it sucks. It sucks. And everybody that tries to climb that road up gets hit with some sort of, sexual deviancy stuff. And I don't mean like the fun kind, but like the disgusting kind. Like, come on now. But let's continue.
Presumably, he's once again trying to tie me with Destiny, but I really don't even know. I don't know what's happening here. All I know is he's not responding to any of the points I made.
Because I think it's utterly irrelevant in the grander point that Israel is committing a fucking genocide, that Israel is an apartheid state. And I think it's like very selfish to have a conversation about my radical anti-American views over and over again.
This is a logical fallacy that you'll see Hassan leaning on pretty frequently here. And what he's saying is because there's a genocide happening in Gaza, he shouldn't be accountable to talk about anything else because this terrible thing is happening. But again, I'm not talking about Gaza. I'm talking about Hassan. And he's doing this smoke and mirrors where he's sidestepping my criticism and putting it like I'm trying to take away attention from Gaza. The truth is that we're smart, thinking, feeling beings, and we can hold two thoughts in our head at once. We can chew bubblegum and walk. And frankly, we all know that. And so this is a really cheap way of essentially avoiding accountability or avoid talking about anything he wants. It's very disingenuous.
Except plenty of people do, okay? Steven Crowder, Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson.
Again, why would he lump Ethan with these people? Why? Why? Like, seriously. Ethan has been the most empathetic to what's going on in Gaza forever. That video, Ethan is literally crying about the fact that he saw a father holding his dead child in pieces and says, you know what? Hey, Netanyahu needs to go. But it's so many people that's like, no, all of Israel needs to go. And I'm just like, okay, cool, great. Y'all say that. But where are they going to go back to? Some of these people were actually born in the Middle East. They were kicked out. Israel's an apartheid state. It's an ethnic state. Yeah, because they were kicked out of other places. And again, not even mentioning not even mentioning the Holocaust. But there were some things that happened before the Holocaust that makes the Holocaust an explanation point, not the start of the story. And nobody pays attention to that anymore because of reasons. I am telling you, as much as I'm not religious, but here's the thing, like, the freaking Romies set up anti-Semitism off the back. And it was this thing called Christianity that kind of actually in one of its founding texts in the New Testament set up anti-Semitism. This is not something that happened in 48, 49, 46, or whatever that year is. There has been a thing that's been happening. But, reasons is evil now. Because reasons, the Jewish people who kind of been, like, ask the Romani people. Ask them, how. And the sad part about it is, these are the same people that literally were standing up with the refugees. The ones that, people in Hassan, like, try to claim that they care about. With the refugees that were coming in and being put in prisons in the U.S., it's like, no, we don't like that because we kind of face some of the same things ourselves. And that doesn't excuse what they're doing. But people tend to forget what some of the anti-Semitism has actually occurred outside of the Holocaust. But it's okay that that we see them as trash because they're now the oppressors. I don't know. Let's continue the video.
Fox News.
Once again, I've talked about this quite a lot, and he's isolated one part of me saying that I think he's doing anti-American propaganda. And what he immediately does is he takes that and he associates me immediately and directly with, like, who do you say? Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson, Steven Crowder. I mean, these are all people that I despise, who have openly criticized, who I think are just a blight on this country. And once again, because I disagree with him on some issues, now I'm basically Tucker Carlson. I mean, can you believe that leap in logic?
And now your favorite, Destiny. A person who has literally told me to go back to my own country. Okay? A person who has fantasized about executing me.
That's terrible.
Poor little Hassan, he's the victim. He's a victim. He said anything bad or never wish any harm on Destiny himself and never called him anything. Like, this is just so toxic. I am glad Ethan is calling him out finally. Somebody is calling him out finally. Because here's the thing, and this is what's going on. And I saw that whole 2-hour stream that he responded to this without bringing up a video. Hassan is scared. They are now, his outside circled wagons are starting to now burn. Hassan is scared.
Terrible. I've never said that. I didn't talk about Destiny. Why are you talking about Destiny when I've articulated points that are very easy to digest and respond to? But he's going on about how Destiny told him to get out of the country and Destiny fantasizes about murdering him. And I'm saying, well, that's all terrible. But what's that got?
And first, I don't doubt Destiny has told him to get out of the country. It's not because he's Turkish. I can guarantee you that it was probably, and I'm not guaranteed, but I can almost be certain that it was an exchange about Hassan saying America bad. How he doesn't like America and America bad and he wishes America would actually fail. That's different from saying, oh, because what Hassan is implying is that Destiny told him that because he was Turkish. And Hassan is not Turkish. He's actually American that grew up in Turkey. But it's the America bad, America should fail, America's evil. That's probably the tone of that conversation. If I'm wrong, I mean, like, I'm willing to look at the clip. I am willing to look at the clip. If it was for him saying America bad, that's that, you know, and America evil and you shouldn't do any, like, I say American bad. I do say American bad, but I feel that we should actually change in my country. Was as much as it seemed to be lip service, was based on the capability of it changing. I want it to change. But Hassan doesn't want America to change. He wants a boogeyman. So America bad, and it should stay bad, because it's never going to get better because nobody's pushing the socialism button. But let's go. That's the perfect freeze frame.
How to deal with me. He's poisoning the minds of his audience, trying to, once again, associate me somehow intertwined with Destiny, even though I've mentioned it maybe once in 10 years. I have never talked about this man.
A person who has...
Actually, the only time I've talked about him is in the context that I used to watch him play StarCraft 2. Like, it's not even political. It's just like, oh yeah, I used to watch him play StarCraft 2, like 15 years ago.
Okay, a person who has fantasized about executing me numerous times over. A person who has had prominent Nazi figures on his broadcast talk about killing me.
Yeah, this is dishonest and disgusting. This is dishonest and disgusting. Again, say what you want. Destiny does have these people on to destroy their arguments, to do the debate bro or debate lord or debate pervert type thing of arguing against these people. But the way Hassan is actually putting it is like, oh yeah, they were talking about how they were just gonna come in and, like, you know, unalive me. Like, yeah, no, this is very dishonest and this is disgusting to associate with who he thought was a friend like this.
Prominent Nazi figures who hate you too. Now you like Destiny? Really?
It's just disgusting. Let's go.
I have not said anything about Destiny, but okay.
Fucking Sam Hyde doesn't like you either, dog.
I didn't say anything about Sam Hyde either. Once again, I don't know what's happening.
That's so crazy. That's the craziest part. Like, how do you not recognize that these people who fucking call for your death and have said horrifying shit about you over and over again, now you are aligned with, now you're reposting fucking Keemstar and shit.
That is a terribly bad faith recounting. What happened?
I don't even know. And this also goes to this leftist perspective of somebody that I disagree with, or somebody's on the right can't have any good opinions. I don't know. This is the problem when you become trapped with your audience. This is the problem when your ego is dependent on how many people like you. You start associating and seeing boogeymans everywhere. This has been a criticism of Hassan. This isn't and this is kind of the reason why I don't like what's happening with Anna Kasparian. Yeah, you want to criticize her politics? Cool, great. But to say, oh, she's always been a grifter and she's been a grifter this, and it's just like, you push people away when it's that. Not everybody's going to just tolerate you chastising them every time. They're going to disassociate with you. Not everybody is going to bow to being in the group the way you want them to be in the group. And it's going to cause a problem. But so much of the online left of, if you're not 100% with us, then you're against us. It's one of those things where it's just like, I don't know what else to say. Like, seriously, it's always have to be black and white. It's always have, and then we will get people that would call out the always being black and white, and there's a problem, but they do it on other stuff. I would like to see how being disenchanted by an audience that turns on you and being shunned and shamed about something that but that's the thing. I get that. But the problem is when you make people unwelcome on your side, it tends not to go well. And I've actually seen people's like, because that happened to you, why should you change how you feel? Like I literally I've seen people like, that's something bad happened to you. How selfish are you to feel, like you shouldn't be upset about it. I've literally saw the tat. Whatever happened to you, you should feel bad about it. Hey, look, that is a conversation that I would just enjoy having. And what I'm saying is that when the online left feels that you're out, they do crazy stuff. They just crap all over you because one, and I've said this before, a lot of people on the online left, they're not really leftists. They're not really progressive. They're outsiders that got kicked out the group, and because they got kicked out the group, they gravitate to something. So they think just the same as right wingers do. They just have a sheep in the opposite direction mentality. And they say, well, I feel this way because I'm morally right. Not I've evaluated this is the best part. No, I want to be more morally right. And you know what? I blame the online left for... I don't blame them for her reaction to it in 100%. But I do blame the cast of the nation on just like, yo, like, why are you treating me like this? I can't blame you for that because, yeah, a lot of people kind of like crapped on her about some takes, and it's just like, wait, what? I will say that pushing people away and denigrating people to try to get them back in line is a problem. That is a very much problem. And what's bad is, okay, that's fine. And what's bad is, and I'll bring this point up, a lot of people said that like some of the things she said at the time that she said them was bad, and it was the atmosphere of what's going on. It's a bad time to bring it up. But you don't have that same smoke for when anti-Semitism is at a rise. It's just happening because the leadership in Israel is being bad, so whatever, it's okay. It's something that, like I said, I don't mind having that conversation. I definitely don't mind having that conversation because, like, I'm empathetic to. It looks as if she's going off in a direction where it's, quote unquote, more centrist. But outside of the criticism, for the one criticism that I would have an issue with is she's voting against a plan. She's voting against a plan that would actually give money to NGOs for homeless people. I've seen that, and you know what? If you want to criticize that, fine. Her reasoning is that NGOs in California, the specific areas, have been harmful to resolving the problems, which they are. But if you look out on the surface and it says, I'm going to vote against the money going to homeless people, it does seem a problem. But like, there have literally been stories about the NGOs that mismanaged everything. So that's a conversation. Again, with something like that, I've seen more the fact that she's pulling away from the left, not her policy positions, that are criticized. But we can go to it. We can go to it because it was another video that I actually want to go to and deal with. But we can go to it. That's the. Yeah, no, that's my point. Literally, like, that's exactly my point. It's she feels politically homeless because of some of the things, the cast in the nation. Again, I didn't see the making a point about the bill. I just see well, she said something that at a time where, you know, trans hatred was going on, then she should have just kept it to herself. That's okay. Like, and again, that's, we get into discussion. We can have this discussion later. I'm trying to finish this video, but like, yeah, seriously, like literally, it was the whole. She said something at the time that it was optically bad, and so now it's a problem. And I haven't changed that, but we can get to that. We can get to that later, a little bit later. But let's get back to the Ethan right now.
In that case, is that Frogan and her friends were trying to blame the harassment she was getting on me, even though it was quite obviously from people responding to her telling vets that they deserve to get PTSD.
But see, that's what I'm saying. That's the point that I'm saying right now. This is the point that I'm actually saying. Like, we can have that conversation. I remember us talking a little bit about it, and you were making some good points, and we can get to that conversation later. Seriously, let's finish this video.
What I was doing, clearly in my stories, was I was showing tweets from all these conservative sources showing that the harassment she's getting is from them. I in no way endorsed it at all. I showed a picture of like Donut Operator tweeting about it, some cops account tweeting about it, Drama Alert tweeted about it, and a few others that had massive presence on Twitter and were talking about Frogan. So to say that I'm now reposting Drama Alert, implying that I'm co-signing or supporting him, is so bad faith that it.
And Hassan has actually done this before. He said, "Why? Which one you should make fun of? You should make fun of a woman that wears a hijab or Ethan Klein." And it's just like, it's just telling somebody that you don't have a valid criticism because of who you are. This person is, this person, because they have this characteristic, they can not be talked about. But you who are, rich and powerful, you can't have an issue about what's being said about you. And that's not how we on the left actually operate with stuff, because remember, people's life experiences are valuable to them. You can't just dismiss somebody because, and like, that's bad. You can't just dismiss anybody because you think that they're in a position of power, so their feelings doesn't matter. That's something that's just like, it's apathetical to what the left is. Well, you're Ethan Klein, so you shouldn't care about what's said about you versus this woman who wears a hijab. That's not what progressivism is. All right, let's go.
Could only imply that he knows exactly what he's doing, that it's actually that bad faith, that he's just essentially lying and doing a character assassination.
What a silly, sad, pathetic state of affairs, dude. Jesus Christ. It makes me so fucking sad.
Okay, well, apparently he's disappointed and he's sad about a bunch of things that have nothing to do with me. So going back, you can see there's layers and layers and layers of character assassination, propaganda, logical fallacies, and not one response to any of the points that I've actually made. And
it's going back to the point that Destiny actually just did. Let's pull that back up. Here. Here it is. Let's pull it back up. This is all Hassan is doing. This is just it. This is all Hassan is doing. But let's go.
It seems obvious to me that he's trying to poison his audience against me by misrepresenting my beliefs and just straight up lying about things that I said and things that I believe. Now, this just came out. I just saw this on the subreddit, but things like this I like to get ahead of as quickly as possible, because I do not want him to be allowed to set this tempo as if this is the official narrative. I must fight this at every point. And once again, if you're a Hasan fan, challenge him to do better than this. This is dishonest. And more than that, I'd like for him to just respond to one of the points I made, just directly. Anyway, that's my video for the evening. Have a great one.
All right. Thank you, Ethan. Thank you. So, yeah, no, this is an issue where Hassan can't just sit back and say, oh, he just hates me because they were quote-unquote friends. He has to make up the lie of, oh, now he's just right-wing. It's just, I want the better for the online left. I want the online left to stop thinking in so much black and white. I want the online left to actually stop thinking that because somebody's right wing, then they can't have any good points at all. And it's not the whole centrist, both sides. Like, literally, this is just, well, you said something I don't like, so you must be right wing. I hate it. I hate it. Yeah, we don't be sorry, be better. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna cut this clip. Like, share, subscribe, and thank you for watching.
I want to say thank you to all my Patreon supporters and my Twitch subscribers. Join the Guardians, become a member, or become a subscriber on YouTube, Patreon, and help support the channel. Thank you for watching this video, and the next one should be popping up on your screen. Subscribe, and if you haven't checked it out and want to help out the channel, check out my Patreon. Thanks.